March Madness, you know what I'm saying, folks? March Madness, movies, that's what that's about, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's your bracket? Your bracket of movies.
Hey, this is Movies Are Real for the month of March 2019. I'm your host, Jurge. This is the Movies Podcast where we discuss the movies of the month prior and what we're looking forward to the next month. I am here with Ryan Lance.
What up, YouTube?
Oh boy, Karrie Lyles.
Be sure to subscribe down below. Smash that like
I thought you were going to make a TikTok joke, Ryan, for some reason. TikTok, a big deal. It worked out. Good for them.
I still have not been on TikTok. I've seen a few good TikToks.
No, because I know there's no reason I would go apart from
exactly.
exploring what's on there.
Because I feel like it's still too much of people doing that music stuff. There's not enough mapeople making
right. Because
it
used to be Musically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when they made TikTok, it was still the Musically ideology. They just opened up to more
the
ideology.
No,
I was like, what if? There's a great YouTube video of someone being like, I'm gonna make this guy a top Musically guy. And he took this random guy, it's a mockumentary-esque thing. Then he made his first Musically, and he's like, "Yo, what up, YouTube?" The next day, he's just a douchebag. Just yes.
It sounds pretty good.
It was a pretty good video.
Movies. That's the thing we do here.
Exactly.
Going down that old town. What's that song called? Country Road.
Take me home.
No, not that one. The one that became big on TikTok. Anyways, March.
No clue.
There is some big stuff here, but it's really not a whole lot here. But obviously the big one. There's two big ones here, but one that Ryan Lance was extremely excited for multiple years, and
Dumbo.
Hey,
no, none of us saw that.
Nobody cared.
No one cares.
I almost did several times, but then I was just like, nah.
Eva Green can't get a fucking something that works out well.
No.
Anyways, Captain Marvel. So I forgot this came out because I didn't see it, and somehow I feel like I haven't been spoiled on it. It's weird because I feel like with Marvel movies, like a thing from a Marvel movie becomes a meme. Is this your king? Or the disappearing dust thing. But I haven't really gotten any of that.
I think all the memes from Captain Marvel were in the trailer. So her punching that lady, that was a good meme. But there was nothing spoilery. Well, actually, the other meme is the Skrull drinking the soda.
That's
you've
true.
seen that?
No.
That's the meme that's been around. So
That's not really a spoiler.
No, it's not.
Hold on, they drink soda.
Squirrel Girl.
No, that would have been a spoiler.
So Captain Marvel, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. At least.
Okay.
I'm biased because I'm a huge fan of the comic book character and a huge fan of Brie Larson. Great work from her. And Captain Marvel, for anyone who does not know, is a story of a woman, Carol Danvers, who, through some comic book nonsense, gets the DNA of some aliens inside of her, and she gains superpowers and the ability to shoot energy from her hands. She goes on adventures in space, and she fights the Skrulls, shape-shifting aliens.
Oh, the Skrulls are her bad guys?
In the comics, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they are in this movie.
Oh,
The Skrull, they're the antagonistic
were they not
force.
in the first? Who were the bad guys in the first Avenger?
The first Avenger was the Chitauri, which is
Oh.
I think their own thing.
Okay,
Because
they're very Skrull-like.
Yeah.
In that they're useless, fucking fodder to punch and
Yeah.
beat up.
Well, at least with the Skrulls, because they can shapeshift, there's some anxiety behind anyone could be a Skrull. And this movie does, I feel a good enough job of using that where you can't really trust anyone because it could be a shape-shifting green monster man.
And it's Ben Mendelsohn.
It could be. Oh my god! What if on this podcast my skin peels and it turns out I've been Ben Mendelsohn the whole time?
I'll be like, what the fuck were you doing in Ready Player One? You're better than that, you idiot.
It's you're right. Everyone's better than that movie, except for those who defend it.
So yeah, I guess is there a lot to say here? What was it that really was it just a fun Marvel movie in the traditional, or is this something new?
It's not I like this a lot.
Gives you the beats that you want.
It does give you the beats that you want, but it is kind of more generic Marvel tier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than most because it has more interesting. It shies away from the boring parts of those classic it's the first superhero solo movie. Like,
Sure.
here's their villain, here's their love interest who will disappear after this movie and not be important. Here's the kind of like lame parts of them learning to use their powers. This movie kind of like shies away from like a lot of that, because like she has her powers to begin with. The parts of her learning about her powers, those are all kind of like skipped forward a bit through like flashbacks, so she's already like pretty like well versed in what she's capable of doing. So there's not a whole like, whoa, what's with my hand? They're shooting laser beams. Oh my god. So yeah, it's very good, very solid. You can kind of tell because this movie went through like a lot of writers, and like my one critique of this is like you can really
It feels
tell.
like it.
You can really tell. Like it had two really good writers to begin with. The female writer of Guardians of the Galaxy and the sole writer of Inside Out. But then they left, and then the woman who made a really bad DC movie was a writer. And then someone who
Green Lantern.
No, a more recent one.
Jonah. Oh, that's not recent.
Or maybe she was writing one. I don't remember.
Okay.
But then the Bumblebee writer hopped on.
Oh, okay.
And then this directing team, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, when they jumped on, they rewrote it again.
No,
and that's a lot of
That's a
people.
that's a lot of red
And,
pens.
Anna Boden
At a certain
and
point,
Ryan
you just go back to
Fleck-
the original ideas. At a
Yeah,
certain
exactly.
point, after that many
And
edits.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, like they do a decent enough job with this, but there's not like my favorite Marvel movies. Like you can really tell like the style
Sure,
from the directors.
Thor Ragnarok or
Thor
James
Ragnarok,
Gunn for Guardians
James
of the Galaxy.
Gunn, Scott Derrickson a little bit in Doctor Strange. Like you can tell what he wanted to do, but I feel like he was being held back by something. They don't really have like a style. Like that's not a knock on them because they made a solid movie here, but just doesn't have like a.
Its presentation wasn't like flashy or exciting.
It was just like 90s. Yeah.
Is she was like an air pilot?
Yeah, she was a
Air
pilot.
Force pilot.
Air Force
yeah.
pilot? Okay.
In a time where women were not allowed to be that, so they were just kind of like on the sidelines. Her and her friend.
And I was like, what is this, Top Gun? And then the cat walks out and they're like, Goose, what are you doing? And I was like, oh my god, it is Top Gun!
Goose the cat, also great. I was very happy for all the people I told that like you want to look out for the cat. People were like, what do you mean? And then they saw the movie like, oh. Oh. So yeah, I liked it a lot. A little biased here. Excited to see what they do with it next. Carrie, what were your thoughts on it? As someone who hates Marvel movies and hates having fun.
I mean, I see what it was trying to do. And I like Brie Larson a lot, and I like Samuel L. Jackson a lot, and I think they had really good chemistry in the movie. I think the parts with them just having banter were some of my favorite parts in the movie. But it just feels not genuine for me. Like the whole finally a lady is here to save the day. We're gonna retroactively make her the most powerful person, and you're gonna believe it because we already told you that. And it's like, I don't want to sound like
Sound like a
asshole,
PR
but
move?
It feels. I can't take this like I can't take Marvel being like no, it's really forward thinking and cool. I can't take that seriously.
When this is their 21st film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's a fine movie. It's not bad in any way, but it just that montage. I've talked to you about this.
Yeah.
There's a montage in this movie that felt very much so like
It felt very.
someone's gonna screen cap this and put a motivational quote under it, and I was like, ugh.
It felt very like sizzle reel. Like when they pitched this movie, like when the board of executives pitched this movie, they had that part. Like this will be really cool, and they just kept trying to make that be in the movie.
Yeah,
I definitely. It's a cool part. Like in the context of the movie, it's kind of less.
It just feels like they're cashing in on the time and place that this movie came out, just to try and make people buy into it more. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
That's us. That's a very us. Like, I mean, I feel like we're very cynical people.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's Marvel. It's not like they're like fucking. Like it's like you said. It's
they
Marvel.
know what they're
It's
doing.
filmmaking
They
by
know what they're-
committee.
Yeah. This one especially because, yeah.
At least with Thor, I can see someone like, man, we don't know what the fuck to do with this anymore. So
Let's
it's
just
like,
hand this off to
there you
someone
go, you
else.
do something
so yeah,
with it.
I'm hoping for what they do with this character next, because they've talked about like, yeah, we're gonna do a lot more with this character, and they should, because she's very important in like the comics, in like the recent comics, and she's more interesting than fucking Ant-Man. I feel.
I like Ant-Man.
I know you do, but I hate like. Because like I'm reading these like Avengers takes because Endgame comes out in April, and people are like, "There's gonna be a Doctor Strange movie, a Doctor Strange sequel, a third Ant-Man movie." It's like, we don't need a third Ant-Man movie. No one wants that.
Oh man, I kind of
Not a
want
single
that.
people-
I kind of.
I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer will be back, hopefully.
Hey,
I don't think she will be. She turned to dust. That
right. Ask him that Chadwick Boseman interview. I don't know if you saw it.
He's
It was
like,
"Oh,
I'm dead.
I'm dead. I
I'm
wish
dead.
I could, but I'm dead.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's Captain Marvel. It sounds like,
What do
yeah.
you think of Jude Law as the villain?
Oh, yeah, Jude Law. I saw that. Well, he's on this list. What's Jude Law doing here?
Well,
He's like the head of like their
The Kree.
of the space
The Crew? The Crawl?
the Kree.
The
The Kree. He's like the head of like Captain Marvel's like space like crusade when they're out in space, solving crimes all over. He's like the Top Gun boy. You know what I mean?
He's Tom Cruise.
He's the Tom Cruise of this movie.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. And surprise, surprise! I said not really a surprise. He's not that great of a guy.
Yeah, you don't cast Jude Law in a movie
That's
and
true.
tell me that he's a good guy, and I'm gonna be like, okay.
I haven't seen Jude Law in a leading role in a long time. He's usually a support role.
He's the young Pope.
That is very
That's
true. That is
Those
very
photos
true.
Are
The young
sexy.
Pope is
Yeah,
very
man.
good.
I don't think that's a real show. I think they just post pictures like, who's Jude Law, the young Pope? Like, that's hilarious. I'm gonna get around to watching that. And then not a single person has.
The first
It's
season
not
of
a
The Young
real
Pope
show.
was very good memes. I enjoyed the Young Pope memes, but now it kind of died off, so I don't know.
I saw a recent like still of like the new season that he just like naked on a beach. I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny actually.
All right, so that's Captain Marvel. Moving on to something that's not so mainstream. Climax, the next movie from Gaspar Noé.
Yeah, you guys saw this. was
I
not able
didn't
to.
actually.
I saw it by myself.
Just Karrie
Yeah.
saw it. Okay, I thought you both saw it.
I think I described this last time as the horny movie, or like the movie made by the
The horny guy.
yeah, the horny guy.
The cum shoots on the lens.
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is this so? I guess there's a lot to. At least it appears that there's a lot to unpack with this movie. So I believe we explained it last time, and tell me if I'm incorrect. There is this sort of giant rave / party. The punch is spiked with some fucking nonsense craziness, and shit goes wild.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So they're a dance troupe, and they've locked themselves away for these 3 days to rehearse this number. And the movie opens with them, like, bringing it together for their final rehearsal, and they're like, we have it, it's solid, and then they're partying for that night because they're done rehearsing and everything's ready. And the sangria has been spiked, but they don't know that right away, obviously, so they're all drinking it, and then it devolves throughout the evening as everyone goes on a very bad trip, and it's extremely cool.
So is it not as character driven as it is sort of like set piece and moment driven?
It's not super. There's a ton of characters. There's so many. Like, there's about a 20. I want to say it felt like 20 minutes. It might be 10 to 15. But as they're starting to drink the sangria, it's just cutting between solid conversation and dialogues of different people in different parts of the party talking about random things and talking to each other and setting up some plot threads that you kind of follow throughout the night. But it's mostly just the reasons I liked it was it devolving into madness and being upsetting and feeling
okay.
trapped.
But it works, right? Because you
Yes.
can go in a movie with that. Obviously, I'm not a movie director, but you can pitch someone that movie and it not work at all.
Yeah.
Um.
And I feel like this might be a divisive movie because I've seen people hating it, but it's like it's a drug trip movie where you never, at least in my memory of watching this, you never see what they're seeing. You just see them reacting to things and freaking out and thrashing around. and making these decisions that make no fucking sense, and you're just there watching confused, and it's nightmarish and cool. While I was watching this, I was like, I think this is what I was supposed to feel like watching Mother. I think that's what I think that's what he was going for, because it was upsetting, but it was really, really great.
Okay.
I loved it.
Cool. How long was it, by the way?
I don't really know. It didn't feel super
It feels like it wouldn't be able to maintain that energy for a long time, but I don't know. That's just me.
It had really good momentum, and it would, you would follow around one character for a while as they're just, meandering around this place and, trying to... There were shots that felt like one of those lip dub music videos where you're just, following a single shot person, and then it, transfers to another person, but... It was very cool, and it was very fucked up. Not just be it's an edgy movie, but, there's some shit in this movie, and it was great.
Cool.
Loved it.
This is
96 minutes.
Okay, that seems about right.
Yeah.
How long that should be.
Yep.
That was 824, right?
Yes, I
Man,
believe so.
all right, shout out to 84. Oh, side, we don't talk about movie news usually, but did you see that Annapurna is not doing great? Annapurna, they're doing bad. All their movies bombed last year, other than
No.
Sorry to Bother You. I'm Sorry to Bother You didn't do well either, apparently. But I don't know, I feel like 824 started to become the better, cool label? I don't know how to describe what they...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that energy too, of people being like, A24, I love it, and I've purchased A24 merch.
Right.
I bought the Toni Collette pin. That's her screaming.
One of the community... So Annapurna also does video games. One of at PAX, one of the community managers for Annapurna tweeted out at the fucking booth, and I hear someone saying, "Yo, this is if A24 made video games." And he's like, "My guy, are you serious?" Anyways, the other big film for March is the next flick from one Jordan Peele, Us. Yeah, there was no way that this one wasn't gonna have a bunch of anticipation.
Yeah.
I think even if the trailer wasn't as interesting, I think the fact the next movie from the guy that make it out.
Spiritual successor, essentially.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know if we talked about how we felt about this movie going into it, other than being incredibly interested. I remember seeing the trailer and wasn't immediately like, "Holy shit!" Other than I Got Five on it, it's a very good song. But having seen it, I personally love it way more than Get Out. Keep in mind, I am not black, so that fact that movie is rooted in the fact it is talking about that experience of being black in America. But I liked Us a whole lot, and I forgot until we saw that. I've been so busy that I forgot that I saw Us. But yeah, how did y'all feel about it?
I think I might be in the same camp as you. I really liked it. I think I might like it more than Get Out as well. I saw it 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen it again. I need to watch it
kept
again.
Being like, I want to see it, and I was like, I'll go. So yeah, I've seen it 3 times now, and there's so much cool reincorporation, and it's a movie with a lot of thought behind it,
right?
As a Jordan Peele movie would be, and it's just great.
And it's not real quick, it's not I think what you always say, they're like, oh, if we watch the movie, everything makes sense. But I think a lot of movies do that. That's not unique. But I think the thing with Us was for me, it spoke to me no, I personally want to do the work to go watch it again and see how I feel knowing this knowledge about what happens at the end of the movie. Ryan, how'd you feel about it?
I did like it. I'm undecided if I like this or Get Out better. Get Out the way I feel Get Out felt more focused in its idea. I feel like this is trying to do a few different things, and when it came to that last
I agree, it's a little bit
twist,
messier. It's more messier.
That last twist, I was like, that's not super satisfying.
Yeah.
At least
I can
felt.
agree. I
mean, it makes sense, and it does make the plot make sense. Okay, well that's why, but it also kind of lies to you, throughout it. And I'm deciding that I don't like it when a film shows you scenes and then explicitly later is that wasn't true. That just was a lie. And it's that is kind of shitty. This way that it's what movie like comes to mind when I think of that is The Handmaiden, the Korean LGBT movie of these two women.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I know.
It's very good, but it does like two things. It has its classic like 3-act structures, like part 1, part 2, part 3. And in part 1 and part 2, they explicitly remove sequences from like the film, so like it makes it seem like the plot is going in one direction, but in actuality it's going in a different direction. It's not until part 3 where like, oh, okay, I now have the full story of the film later on, which is weird. And like I think that's definitely interesting storytelling. It's better than like the classic Shyamalan twist where like one little thing is like, oh, but it's also like I don't know.
It's the unreliable narrator, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it's based on. I like it, and I think it's not
no,
as
I like
clean.
it a lot.
Sure.
I'm just kind of conflicted on it a bit.
For here, yeah, it's not as. I agree. Like I like it, knowing that it's not as clean as I would like it to be. But I'm willing to still like personally enjoy it a lot more. For like, I don't think it's good because it goes there, but I specifically like you took some risks and you tried some stuff, and I enjoy it personally.
That's what makes me go back to that's
even
where
if it didn't
I'm
get
even
there
more
clean.
Conflicting, because I love a horror movie that's just weird for the sake of being weird, and this movie has a lot of that, and I really love that.
With great performances too.
Oh yeah,
my
totally.
fucking
Very
God.
good.
Especially because like this is a horror movie where like people talking about, people getting excited of it are the people who don't typically like horror.
Sure.
Like my
that,
fucking parents.
That's also led to a
saw
lot
this.
of tweets like, "Oh man, guys, horror movies, man, they're good
back.
now. They're back. They're good
And
now."
it's
It's
like,
like,
well,
I'm like, I
no.
want to die, but whatever, guy. I'm too fucking old now to get mad about anything. I'm
14-year-olds and like, fine.
Movies are good.
I was like, I don't care anymore.
First sort of horror
Have you heard of the Bye Bye Man?
now
That's
that's a
good.
retweet.
Finally.
The Bye Bye Man is on Netflix. And
I saw that.
And-
You know what? I thumbs up it when I saw it on my Netflix. I was like, thank you. More content like this, please. This is what I'm willing to pay $15 a month for.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I like Us. I've seen it only the one time, unlike Karrie, who was fucking, I'll see it 1,000,000 times.
Listen.
I love cinema. I love cinema.
People kept coming to me being like, does anyone want to watch Us? And I was like, I do.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
that
it.
happened to me too. I just said no.
and then my friend was like, we're seeing Us tonight. Can you make it? And I was like, yes.
But yeah, I like it a lot. I love the main scare behind it. I love how it went other places with it, like, you know, it's more than just this one isolated thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, and
Yes.
I like the ideas it goes for. I'm just the twists make me a little conflicted
the
on
final twist
Yeah.
seems tacked on and
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
Because I guessed that like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I was like, okay, I know that's gonna happen. But then as the movie goes on, I'm like, oh, I guess they're not gonna do that. And then they do it anyway, and I was like,
And they
hold
do
on.
it in such a grand fucking scale.
Yeah.
Like, it's so big. Like, there is this universal truth to it that, like, there is this whole other thing that you're not even aware of. And now it is their time to come out.
Right.
And it's too many questions to make it a clean, satisfying ending.
Well, yeah, but
it's also
But it's
like,
still very good.
it's also very weird because I don't want to spoil in case anyone listening.
Yeah, that's why
hasn't seen
we're
it.
walking around and
But-
stuff.
But
Buddies.
yeah, it makes you ask a lot of questions and makes you like feel like, well, is that really a twist? Because if it was always like this, then why is that a problem?
yeah,
Because because it's like, well, then why is it so like, oh man? But it's like, well, is it bad though? Because it's just a person.
Did you guys
Yeah.
hear? We'll talk about it off mic, but did you guys hear that theory about the other twist in the movie?
No,
I'm gonna tell you
maybe
guys
not.
about it
Okay,
I'm
I'm
interested
excited.
then.
Can we please talk about the ballet scene?
It was
'Cause
very
holy mother
yeah.
of God.
It
I
is
loved
so
that
good.
so
I think
fucking-
it's incredible.
That's why I went and saw it.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
damn
it's so
times. I just
goddamn
wanted to
good.
see that scene again. Holy shit!
It's very
And especially how she's like, "Let's dance" right before, and then it's the final. Oh my
It's very good.
Lord.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's weird because it's a very epic standoff. It's just so much energy and it's so grand. It's very, very good. Again, I got 5 on it. Remix is very good.
I've heard a few people saying that song in that sequence was too overbearing and too trailery sounding, but I was like, I loved it. I thought it was great.
I mean, it was also on the trailer. It doesn't feel like that song is in the fucking movie throughout.
Yeah.
It's not just the trailer song.
Commit to the bit.
And that's another thing, actually. Like, I think I would have said when Get Out came out that Jordan Peele is still doing some of his comedy bit because people know about his comedy work, but it's clear that his love of horror and comedy are sort of they intermingle a lot because this is still a movie that takes a break to have a few laughs.
Right.
And I've read like a few people be like, I hate this because I want pure horror.
You want to take it serious.
I don't want like comedy, but like
those are the people that reply to the people saying that
Yeah, exactly.
horror is finally good very angrily, and where I just fucking
and
whatever.
like because like the way like I always deal with like scary things is I make jokes about them, and so to me like that's what's so refreshing about his movies because like these characters they joke about the scary shit that's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And that feels more genuine and also like it doesn't make what's happening less scary to me. It just makes the characters feel real.
Fucking Tim Heidecker's in this movie. Oh god. Lupita Nyong'o, fantastic.
Oh,
Winston Duke.
Duke's incredibly
Really
attractive
good.
and so
He
good.
was so good.
Like I liked him in Black Panther.
Yeah, I didn't
but
even
then
realize until afterwards
But then
that was
like
him.
I watched this like this guy's awesome.
He's very
Actually,
good. He's very
this guy's
good.
great.
He's very good.
Everyone in this movie killed it, I think.
It's very good. So yeah.
What do you think our shadow people are doing right now? Recording the podcast.
Yeah, they're just sitting around a microphone going,
But there really is a lot to the. There has to be like. I'm sure Jordan Peele is already like. There's gotta because there is very much something to the fact, like you said, Ryan. If this is the thing, why is it bad? That there are other like you've made movies about like. Get Out is a movie about black people and like people who are like are seen as lesser than.
Yeah.
Why make a horror movie where those that are lesser are painted as the bad guys?
Yeah.
And like, I got unless it's like I don't know. I'm interested to see once he finally talks about this movie, like has a tell-all. Like, okay, here's what I was thinking. Here's what this.
What I want to end on real quick. It's not super related, but it's another fan theory about this. It's when people are like. Do Get Out and Us exist in the same universe?
Fucking god!
I hate. Well, first off,
I'm sure it's a good.
if all of Jordan Peele's movies take place in the same universe, how will any of his other movies make sense after the events of this film?
That's true.
I mean,
They can take it before the timeline. This is like
That's really limiting.
This is the.
Because then I'm just thinking of like the fucking guy from what was his name? The guy from
This
Get
is
Out.
where I don't remember his name.
But the guy from Get Out, like he had the hardest time, but then he's doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like give the guy a break. He had a rough time as it is.
This is the one where Link doesn't defeat Ganon.
Oh man, it's that time.
Yeah, it's that time.
Man. Anyways, Us, very good. I feel like most people probably.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're dancing around it. Both of us
It's very good. So a sort of a last minute thing we had added here was Leaving Neverland, which again is the thing I forgot came out. So this is the documentary, not a biopic, right? It is a documentary tell-all, sort of.
It's Jimmy Safechuck and other guy whose name I can't remember. I wasn't ready to talk about this, but it's them and their families, basically divulging all the information about the events that took place between them and Michael Jackson when they were kids, and he what's the word for
Wade
it?
Robinson.
Wade Robinson. He groomed them basically.
Yes.
And, found them.
Really
and,
focused on the grooming aspect of it.
And it was upsetting.
Yes. 4 hours.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a seat, Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
4 hours of sexual assault.
Okay. So, I guess, is there really much to say other than it is a very well done... It's finally to tell this story in a way that is easily consumable for everyone.
Yeah, it definitely, builds to it in, a way. And I think the message it's trying to make is good, as in like the message of like how like the events of these two kids' lives, like how the grooming process of that. I think that's told very well. And I think the documentary format, fits this well. It's very interesting. I found it very interesting watching this being like the age we are, because I remember being a kid. I was never big on Michael Jackson, but I remember very distinctly like the second trials happening when I was very young.
And I remember the 60-minute minute special.
So like my whole life, I just grew up like knowing like this was true. No, like I just always knew this was true. And I still believe that's true. If you gotta unsubscribe to the podcast because of that, fucking whatever. I don't care, dude. But it's very interesting, like how after this happened, people like finally like really took after this documentary came out, people finally like took notice of that, because it kind of shows these details and events where people like finally like oh no,
Right.
If that makes sense without going into explicit detail, because they go into explicit detail.
Do I need to watch this?
I think it's important. If you can only get through like part one, it's divided in two parts.
I'd say it sounds long.
Yeah, part 1 is 2 hours, part 2 is 2 hours. If you only get through like one part, like that's totally understandable.
Each part has like a theme or a focus, or is it just like
it's more? I think
like a
part
timeline of events.
I think
so. It's
part
just like
one.
linear. It's just cutting it.
I think
If I
part
remember
1
correctly.
ends with like.
Yeah, I don't remember where I watched it all in one night, so I don't remember.
I watched it in like 4 big chunks because I was like sick at the time, and I was like, I feel bad about it. And now I feel bad. But I think part 1 ends like after they grow up, and part 2 is all about them being adults and like dealing with it. I think
That sounds like that's how I do the story.
But I mean the movie was made in like one big chunk, so it's pretty much just split in half, like literally. But I think by the way it's told that works that format.
Well, speaking of sort of documentaries that are extremely upsetting that I should probably watch that Surviving R. Kelly documentary. Seems like a bummer. Shout out to being upset. Anyways, that's all we got for March, baby. Woo-hoo! Real quickly, since we're running a little bit short, but that's fine. But I want to just give a shout out to the movie blockers for it being okay, being good. That's all I was about to say.
Yeah, what's something we've all watched recently? That
what's
didn't necessarily come out this year. That
Tag!
Tag was alright.
It was alright.
Tag and blockers are the most like, oh, we like you said, it was
Tag
okay.
was fun.
I finally watched a Black Klansman. That movie's
so
fucking
good.
amazing.
So
Is it? Okay.
Oh, it's amazing.
All right.
It's a good movie.
I was watching like in fucking bed,
Right.
like at like 2 in the morning, and like that last scene where he like hands at the phone, I was like, yes.
All right. Cool.
That's a really good movie.
It's great. It's so
That movie's
great.
got such good energy. I love that
Alright,
movie.
cool.
Although people say I look like Topher Grace, and now I don't like it when people say that anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan.
Oh, it's fine. I didn't like it before because like, oh, Venom, ugh. And I was like, ugh, someone almost as bad.
Since the trailer for the new Jim Jarmusch zombie movie dropped, and I'm very excited about that, I went back and watched some of his movies, and I watched Only Lovers Left Alive.
Ooh.
Holy hell.
Is that movie good?
I loved
I've been
it.
wanting to watch
Okay.
that for a long
Because I couldn't
time.
tell if that movie was just sort of a fascination. That was like peak Tumblr, like.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
It's
if-
I think just because people
But if it's
really,
actually good, then
I think
believe
people
it.
were just
I
really
really-
horny for Tom Hiddleston at that time.
And it was also a horny movie
yeah,
aesthetic.
at that time.
It's
and
also
still, yeah.
It's also aesthetically like trying to be horny as fuck. It
Yeah.
seemed like it.
I don't know. I really liked it because I've watched 3 Jim Jarmusch movies now, and they're all just very calm and like mundane almost, and just quiet and nice.
You know
It's
what
like,
movie we need to talk about, Karrie?
Kevin?
Because you also watched that same
Yeah, I
night.
did a Tilda Swinton double feature as my self-care. I watched We Need to Talk About Kevin, and I was like, ouch, yikes, so that I watched the slice of life old vampires movie.
It's like, oh, I feel better.
I feel great. But yeah, shout out to that movie.
All right, well, shout out to movies.
We need to talk about Kevin is fucking awesome.
That movie was really good.
I love the cinematography the
Same
most.
director as You Were Never Really Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
movie
one.
was great.
Okay.
Tilda
April.
Swinton's been through some stuff.
April. Shazam. Shazam is a movie that I knew existed, but I just forgot where it was at. Y'all have already seen it, but we'll talk about it.
I saw
next.
part of it.
Yeah, because that's what it was mentioned.
No, I only missed one scene.
Okay.
You missed a really good scene.
Yes, and that's what pisses me off. So, like, quick side note. Okay, story time.
Okay.
I ordered Athena fries. Okay.
Oh, a
And you know
second one, because you bought one earlier that day, didn't you?
No,
Or was this a different movie?
no, because we have all seen Pet Sematary.
Yes, I thought you order fries there.
No,
as
I didn't
well.
order anything then. But I ordered fries for Shazam because, you know, and 2 hours later I was like, I deserve some. I deserve some
What was the movie
food.
you ordered fries
Double
to?
featured Pet Sematary and Shazam on the same night.
Mm-hmm. And I ordered food in between movies.
As was the plan.
As was
the.
the-
I ordered a pizza.
Yes, Karrie ordered pizza.
Important information. I ordered pizza, and our friends ordered.
You ordered fries at us.
chicken
That's what it was.
tenders.
Yes.
That's it.
So me and two of my friends all got full meals, and Ryan ordered a side of fries.
Yes, and
Just to
I
set
had
this up.
and I had the pager that's never gone off. And at one point I was like, I guess I'm gonna leave it. I guess I'm gonna leave my movie to get food that I
Yeah.
ordered. $5 for a thin of fries. It's not worth it, but you know what? I paid the money. I'm gonna do it. And I go up there, and no one's at the counter. I have to like yell at people, like not like yell, but like, dude. It's like, yeah.
I was gonna ask, what was your approach? Did you do a? Or,
No, I was just like, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I love it.
Because I was like, I'm not the kind of person who does that kind of thing, so I don't like.
You don't have a strategy.
But also,
No.
you're literally on a time limit. The
Yes!
Yeah.
A scene is happening that I'm told was very dope later on.
It's a good scene.
Like, basically it's a horror scene,
much,
which
yeah.
is why I was pissed. And then, like, the dude was like, yeah. I was like, I never got my food. I was like, what was your food? I was like, you sold it to me, so you should remember. But I told him, and then he left, and then his manager came, but she went, like, around, like, because, like,
Yeah,
it's the
there's
concession
a-
stand.
yes.
But she went around. It was really awkward because it took, like, twice as long as it should have. She's like,
She wanted to level with you, right?
and and she was like, what's going on? I was like, I never got my food. I was like, what'd you get? Just some fries? She was like, oh. And then she left. And then, like, 2 seconds, she brings the food. I was like, why is this so hard? Why is it so hard?
All right, Ryan. We
And
gotta
then I
end
came-
it there before you get
And then I
canceled.
came back, and Karrie was like, you missed something amazing. God damn it!
I did. I loved that scene.
Pet Sematary is another movie we saw that we're not gonna talk about. Boy, that movie's divisive. I thought it was fine, but we'll talk about it later.
I
Yeah.
guess we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. High Life. What's
This is the Robert Pattinson in space.
I'm
I've heard that this
really-
movie is extremely horny.
Okay,
I'm
great.
really
I
excited for this.
saw this referred to as I'm gonna have to find the bit. There was a really funny pun that.
Who else
someone
is in
made.
this film then?
Mia Goth.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
One cool thing about Pet Sematary being diversive is I remember after the movie I looked up some articles about it, and the first one was like, and the first article was Pet Sematary is ironically one of the funniest movies.
No,
I've
it
ever-"
said Pet Sematary is the funniest movie of 2019. No, that's not a typo.
And then the second was Pet Sematary is the scariest movie of the year, and it was like, oh man, there's some stuff going around.
Jesus.
But High Life, I'm very excited for. It looks
It's like Robert Pattinson is on a space station with his little girl.
yeah, and it's like this moody, like kind of horror thing. It's like, ooh, I love a good slow horror in space. It's fun. It's very fun.
Which is apparently also horny.
Yeah, well, you know what? You hire the horniest man on the planet, you're gonna get a horny ass movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Sementerstellar. That
Sementerstellar.
was the joke.
All right.
Pretty good.
I don't think I personally find Robert Pattinson attractive. So,
He has a resurgence.
I mean, I'm glad he's out here. I'm fine with that.
I was like whatever on him, and then I watched Good Time, and I was like, he's really good. And then I was like,
Yeah.
damn it, he's hot.
Damn it.
Fuck.
What's
I
this
want-
unicorn store motion picture?
It is Netflix Brie Larson directorial debut.
Oh, that
also
movie.
starring about a young woman who finds a unicorn store, and it is exactly what it sounds like. The store that sells unicorns. Yeah, so it's great. I've seen it, obviously.
I've also seen it.
All right.
Yeah, it's very.
We'll have to discuss.
Yeah,
next time.
it's a very glittery, sparkly unicorn. It's exactly what it sounds
All
like.
right.
So yeah, we'll
good.
talk about more.
The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. This is
It's finally out, sort of. This is the new Terry
We're
Gilliam
gonna-
Right.
movie.
We're gonna repeat that phrase later on with the list.
Oh, that's true. But no, well, I mean, this movie's been in production for 30 years.
Oh yeah, well,
So it's coming out. Hopefully.
probably.
It had a Fathom event where it was in theaters for one night on the 10th of April. And
Oh,
I
was
missed
it?
But I don't even know if it was playing around here. I just saw it.
probably too expensive as a
But
Fathom event.
it's I don't remember the guy who's playing Don Quixote's name, but Adam Driver is in it, and he's playing this guy who went to this small town to film this commercial, basically, many years ago, and it was a Don Quixote themed commercial, and he had a bunch of people from the town playing different parts, and he goes back there to film something new, and the people there are like, the guy who he had play Don Quixote in his commercial is still trapped in thinking that he's Don Quixote, and so he just gets wrapped back up into this Don Quixote-like adventure, and it's apparently
okay.
from the perspective of Adam Driver, and he's having an internal battle between wanting to make something commercial or wanting to fulfill his artistic desires, but being pushed one way. It just sounds dope, and I love Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I'm excited.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, I'll be able to watch it sometime.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there
all
was
we can
like,
really hope.
it's been the production. I was reading about it because I didn't know how troubled the production was. It's been plagued with so much. Like, they were gonna film it in 2000 with Johnny Depp and some other person.
That sounds
whose
about
name
right.
I don't remember, but there was like this hellish storm, and all of their sets got destroyed, and they just couldn't do it. And it's finally back.
Gotcha. I can't remember. Don Quixote, for some reason, the story and legend of Don Quixote was a story that was told a lot when I was a child, but I haven't thought of that in a minute.
So
So,
this next movie
it's
I
an
added,
anime, I see.
Penguin Highway. It's the story. All I know about is it's this like town in Japan, and they just get overrun with penguins, and that's all I know. We're watching the trailer right now, and it's very cute. I'll say I rewatched this trailer recently, and it seems like the movie might get a little horny at a certain point. You'll
Nice!
see.
Yeah,
You'll see when we get
I
to that
saw
part
a
of the
clip
trailer.
and there was like some breasts.
Yeah,
Penguin
Alright.
because it
breasts?
feels like a very like coming of age, like what?
Coming of age?
Oh God, I hope not. Because this is a child.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you see what I mean? It's some there's some weird
There's
focusing.
penguin.
Yeah, that's what I'm sold
excited
on.
about the penguin.
That's same because penguins are cute, and when they're drawn, they're even cuter somehow.
They just look
Who's
vacant and
animating
scary.
this?
Oh, I love them. I love penguins so much. They're one of the best birds out there.
Top tier. Oh my god!
Yeah, a Coke can just turned into a bird.
Oh shit, Utari Hikaru's doing the music for this fucking movie. Yo,
Uh-oh.
what's up?
The
She did
spiritual
Kingdom Hearts
successor to
music.
Your Name comes out in Japan this
Oh.
year.
Yeah, I saw it was like the Radwimps are
And
doing.
the Radwimps are back.
Yeah, I
Their
saw
score
that.
is back. Oh, it's gonna be great.
So they're gonna
If
make
it ever comes out
$5
to-
billion.
Fun
Exactly.
movie.
I've been beat.
Hey,
Why did they keep
penguin.
turning into soda
And-
cans that turn into penguins? Sold.
All right, that's great. I feel like I've been bad about catching the anime movies when they come
Me
out.
Me too. But you know what can you do?
Yeah.
Hellboy.
Yeah, I haven't heard
2019.
good things about this.
I've
but,
heard-
you know.
I've
Very
heard
bad
trash
thi-
about
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Did anyone expect anything different?
No.
I expected mediocre.
Also, like even if it was good, there's no way that movie would have made any money.
Oh no, because the other ones didn't make any money. So I don't
No.
know what. Which is weird because like they wouldn't make Guillermo del Toro's third one because it was too expensive apparently.
Yeah.
So they just rebooted it.
But this is not
Why?
even. This is not by any major studio. Like it's a
Is this-
smaller studio.
Is this on Netflix or is this
That's on
being
a
released?
movie theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
in theaters
said-
now.
Okay.
We
I
could have
feel
saw
like,
it
I feel
yesterday.
like I saw so many people seeing it, so I was like, "Is this on?" I just had like a deluge of people watching it, and I was like, "Is this on Netflix?"
This has Mila Jovovich.
No, this was just the only movie that came out that day.
Ah,
Yeah.
glad we didn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Shazam had just came out, and people were like, and like a normal studio would be like, we're just gonna move this to another month because this month has Shazam and Avengers, so it's like
Hellboy's like in Brawlhalla. He's like in an indie video. game. It's weird.
Well, you know,
Not the highest IP to get.
Hellboy's also in Injustice 2, I think. I think
that
so.
Sounds right. That sounds right.
I believe so, because that game also has the Turtles. So
It does have the turtles in it. Yeah. Missing Link. This is the new Leica movie, right? It is. Is it Hugh Jackman who's playing the one Missing Link?
Hugh Jackman is playing the explorer guy
Who finds him?
and Zach Galifianakis is playing the missing link.
I'm sure it sounds fine, but I don't know about y'all. But nothing about that sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer looked kind of cute, and I only cared about it more when it was like from Leica, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to care about this.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it looks kind of generic and silly. But Hugh Jackman's here, and god damn it, he better be singing a song.
So we talked a lot about horny. I don't know what this movie is, but I respect whatever the fuck this horny fucking name of a movie is. Her Smell.
It's
I remember I knew what this was at one point, but I kept forgetting. So what is this, Karrie?
Elizabeth Moss, and she's in a punk band. It looks like Vox Lux, kind of, but more about punkiness and her addiction and a self-destructive punk rocker struggles with sobriety while trying to recapture the creative inspiration that led her band to success. I've just heard good things, and I really like Elizabeth Moss. So I
saw a tweet about it from someone making a goof about it, so I assume if it's to that level that I'm seeing goofs about it, I assume some people are seeing it.
Yeah, I've seen some takes on it. So I will be seeking this one out.
Okay, hopefully. This one looks like a hard one to watch in theaters. It looks very small.
Yeah. Speaking of hard to watch in theaters.
Oh, Under the Silver Lake.
It's finally coming out. So the deal with this is it's coming out like limited release on like the 20th, and then it's going to digital on the 23rd. So we're gonna be able to see it.
Hell yeah.
Which I'm excited for because things have been very. Cause I think it came out like in Europe. Like just like it's been in Europe, and it's like, what the fuck? We usually get that shit first. This is so unfair.
Do we?
Usually, yeah. Usually stuff comes out in America first because Hollywood.
Because hello, America.
Well, I mean, unfortunately,
we're the top dogs.
We're the top dogs. But yeah, it's finally coming out. Andrew Garfield, he's back, baby. Director of It Follows, he's back,
Robert
baby.
Mitchell.
I've heard between like garbage and incredible.
Yeah, same.
So I'm just excited because I like this director. I want to see Andrew Garfield thrive after he's been released from the shackles of Sony's Spider-Man.
It's been a long time since David Robert Mitchell has made anything new.
Exactly. So I'm just I'm so intrigued by what this movie is trying to do, and I'm glad I'm gonna finally be able to see it.
Right. I feel like that's what you said last time. Like we were not sure where it's going, but
yeah, we've said this like 2 different times because
it's
it's supposed to come out in December.
What was the other one?
Amityville.
Yeah.
Although we kind of knew where that was going, didn't we? This at least like it could do some stuff.
Yeah.
Breakthrough.
This is the ice is gonna break.
Yeah.
Jesus movie.
Oh.
Yeah. At least we don't have to watch.
Starring Topher Grace.
At least we don't have to. Yes.
Man, such range on that man.
Went from the leader of the Ku Klux Klan to a youth pastor. Damn.
What's the difference? Ooh. This looks horrible.
I'm glad we don't have to watch movie trailers. I'm glad we don't have to watch movie trailers
looks
for it.
awful.
Listen, I just wanted to make the ice is gonna break joke for the people on the podcast because I make it every time we get this trailer in the theater.
Every year there's a Jesus movie, and the trailers get worse.
Every year there's my child is dying, but I can cure them with the power of prayer. Movie.
Get those vaccinations out of here!
I am Jesus. I have the blood of Christ.
Remember in The Nun where she's bit the blood of Christ at the nun?
Yes,
The literal blood of Jesus Christ.
There's gonna be a
That's
Nun
the one
sequel.
thing you can remember from that fucking movie.
That scene was hilarious.
There is gonna be a Nun
Speaking
sequel.
of the Nun.
Another one.
Speaking of the Nun, the Curse of La Llorona. Fuck, does this look so
This looks bad.
bad?
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Every
and
time
concept.
I see a trailer for this, it's a different scene, though, which is weird.
So we just gotta watch all the trailers, then we don't gotta see
Yes,
the movie.
exactly. And like, why? Why this? Why are we still making Conjuring movies? None of them are good.
They're pretty good, Ryan.
Look, The Annabelle movies are
That
hilarious.
new
now-
Annabelle trailer.
I haven't seen it yet.
fuck,
Was there an
dude.
actual trailer now?
Yeah, there's an actual trailer now. It's literally.
It looks god awful.
It looks.
But
someone-
Patrick Wilson and Vera
Yeah,
Farmiga
they're in
are
it.
back.
God
They
damn
are-
it.
Yeah, they're back. They're back for the third Annabelle movie.
It's because they've had him on on the hook for so long. It's like, listen, we'll get to it back. He's out making Aquaman or some fucking shit. He'll come back. Don't worry about it, guys. He'll be right back. Fuck it. Just put him in the fucking Annabelle movie. They gotta do something.
The new Annabelle movie
The
looks
crowd will
like the
forget who
fucking-
they are.
Looks like the fucking Cabin in the Woods, but like with the Laurens, their shit.
Do you think Kevin wasn't even aged well? I've mentioned this multiple times.
I think it probably
I should,
would.
I should probably just rewatch it.
Yeah, probably. But like the gag of the new Annabelle movie is like the Laurens or Warrens or the
Warrens.
Yeah, I was like, who?
their daughter has like a friend over, and the friend goes into the demon room and just starts fucking around. And she
Why
lets
is
out
there
Annabelle.
not just like a massive
Oh, so this is
block?
like, this is like the fucking
Conjuring 2.5.
this is the Captain America
Yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Like it's actually the next one, but not
I
really.
hate that.
Yeah, no, it is because the friend.
Fuck! This makes it worse.
The friend just goes to the room and starts fucking with shit. And then the Annabelle apparently like lets out all the other demons that are in the demon room. Which, by the way,
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
which by the way, just get like one of those like red like storage units. Just store your demon shit.
So is-
Don't put it in your house.
So getting
you have a daughter. What the absolute fuck is wrong
Hey,
with
Brian,
you?
they have it blessed every month.
That's true.
That's not enough.
With the power of prayer, anything is enough.
Yeah, I've seen Breakthrough. I know. It stopped that ice from gonna breaking. Or whatever it was.
So does the Curse of La Llorona take place in present time?
Probably.
Is this like maybe immediately
Oh, yeah,
after
we were talking about that.
Annabelle, the new one? Then
But all these demons take place in the same universe at the same time.
that makes
Is-
sense. That
is-
makes perfect sense.
Is this actually in the same
Yes,
universe?
it is.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
this
okay.
is
I
100%.
know that it says from the people who brought
No, yes, it
Conjuring
is.
on the posters, but I didn't know
It's
if it
on.
was
Yeah.
But it's in that universe, yeah. It's hard to like tell people because it hasn't been like teased in the other one.
No.
Right, yeah.
'Cause
Or
Annabelle-
maybe it was, and we just didn't notice.
They pass by some person of color, and then they're fucking
Oh,
yelling.
don't!
Yeah, exactly.
That probably happened once.
I'm
in those
bummed. I
movies.
am bummed at how many fucking of my people are gonna go watch this movie just because it's La Llorona. That's
I've
a
never heard
bummer.
of this. I've never heard of this.
It's a
legend
big
before.
deal.
I had heard of it when we talked about
wow.
it.
Yeah.
I
I
hadn't.
haven't.
God. Anyways, Avengers.
I grew up with
Endgame.
nuns, so that's the horror I do. But not this demon nuns, just actual nuns.
Man. Part of me wishes we were back to the shitty PG-13 horror movies that are about a bunch of dumb teenagers doing dumb bullshit things. That'd be
God,
more interesting.
I'd kill for that right
more
now.
interesting than these Conjuring spin-offs. They're so boring. God
They're
damn it.
boring and it's just so much jump scares.
They're boring trying to do the Conjuring thing, which is good, and they're not
Yeah.
doing it well.
It's true.
It's just like no flavor.
Like the Conjuring.
Where's the fucking actual food? God damn it!
like the two Conjuring movies? Those are like the better ones of those, obviously. But like the Annabelles, it's just so bad, and I don't get why people are even scared by them. They're not even scary. It's just a loud noise every like once. It's like silence, and like bang, and it's like that's not scary. Slender Man's scarier, and that should have been take place in the fucking Conjuring universe.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, we're
They just
probably
have
gonna see.
Slender Man in their demon room. Just,
Well,
tied
What's
up in
his
the
face
corner.
have a contract that they can't make a numbered Conjuring movie without him or something? Like, cause
James Wan.
yeah,
Maybe.
because this, like I said, this is the Civil War.
I think the Annabelle
well,
movie.
Not La Llorona, the new
no,
Annabelle
the
movie.
Annabelle movie.
Well,
yes.
Annabelle like has a name now, and that's probably why they're doing this. Like
Yeah.
people like oh the new Annabelle movie.
And she cameos in
Do you think
Shazam.
Are you saying that Annabelle's higher than the Conjuring?
I think in the public perception, yes.
Mm.
And like I know you like that hurts me to say that,
Yeah.
but I genuinely believe.
And then
that.
they bring up when they do the Conjuring 3, like, all right, we got to elevate this a little bit more so we can keep this going for a little bit longer.
More
What's
nuns.
what's the new bit character
character gonna be in The Conjuring 3?
Right, it's not the nun.
They're gonna have to
Fingerless Steve.
Oh, he comes in and punches you with his
The
stumps.
Chupacabra.
Give you the big stump punch.
It's just a guy. It's not just a guy.
I have not seen a single goddamn promotional material for Avengers Endgame. Everyone keeps complaining, I can't keep watching these trailers. I haven't seen a single goddamn thing, and I'm ecstatic. And I'm actually going to go watch wrestling instead of this movie.
As we just found out.
As I just found out.
The only trailer for this that I've seen was the one where it was like in black and white, but there was like it was like
I started
flashbacks
watching it, and
from
then I was
every
like,
character, and I was like,
nope.
this is awful.
I'm out.
I hated that trailer.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this
but,
is.
I mean, I'm excited in like. I'm more excited for this
To be done?
To be done.
We can
and for
move on
Marvel
and see
to
how we
do,
go.
Like more interesting solo stuff because they have a lot. They've talked about. Well, they haven't talked about. There's been leaks of like a lot of interesting stuff, like more Black Panther movies, more Doctor Strange movies, a Shang-Chi movie, which sounds dope, and I love the director they have attached to that. A Black Widow movie finally, but I don't care.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's like too
It's
late.
way too late.
Way.
I think that's the one they're filming next.
They should just be a TV series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Disney Plus, maybe heard of it.
Yeah. They're having a lot
An
of
exciting new
Marvel shows.
platform.
None of them sound interesting.
Well, you know.
They have the Loki show.
Not every comic book can be a slam dunk.
Is this show just about Loki?
Yeah, there's a show just about Loki. There's a show just about
That sounds terrible.
Scarlet Witch and the Vision called WandaVision. Not a great name. And then they have a show called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
And they've talked about there maybe being a Hawkeye show.
Who the fuck would watch that?
I think the idea
I
is
saw
like,
that. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
It's like
Story
wish
of how he gets that tattoo.
it's every episode is another section.
It's LA Ink, but it's just him coming
So, Avengers Endgame.
I'm excited how
Do you guys have? What are your guys' expectations?
I'm excited
for
how they
this?
pay off. I enjoy the concept of Nebula being one of the figure, like one of the being at the central of this story in the comic books. I enjoy that a whole lot. I would like to see her get a prominent role in the way this whole thing.
The future of these movies. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's another reason why I'm excited for this movie, just because it's going to be the ending point for all these characters I just don't give a fucking shit about. I haven't cared about Iron Man for like 6 years.
He needs to retire, man.
He needs to die. He got so close
They
to
keep
dying.
bringing him out here.
I like Captain America, but I feel like after this movie, I'll be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Thor, I want 1,000 Thor movies.
Thor, I'm fine. Yeah, Thor gets to
I want
go.
1,000 Thor movies. Black Widow,
Thor
don't
found a
care
new
about.
gimmick.
Never cared about Jeremy Renner's character, Hawkeye. Never
I don't know
cared.
what you're doing here.
The Hulk.
He's got kids. He's got to get a paycheck.
The Hulk, I don't care about anymore.
He's a good side character.
He's a good side character, and I think Mark Ruffalo does a good job, but I just don't care anymore. I cared about everyone who died in the other one, in the last movie.
Yes.
Because they were all and that's kind of, like, I get why, like, this is gonna be end of this saga. So we wanted to end with how it began, with the Avengers, a movie that is not that great to begin with, but people still think is the best superhero
It was
movie
not
ever
very
made.
good. I'm ecstatic for people our age to have children, and their children watch that movie and be like, that was fine. What was that? Was like,
That was
okay.
fine.
That was all right.
You see, we've seen Justice League, so we don't
And
have
again, I say this as someone who fucking enjoys professional wrestling and enjoys it very passionately. I think it's good that people enjoy things, but man, I just don't care about Avengers. Again, I am interested to see how they bring back it. Well, I hope the way they bring everyone back is good. Obviously, that's a big deal, right? Obviously, but they could just do it kind of like, oh, we found the thing, and you know, we found that we can't wish fucking Krillin back. He got blown up like twice from the Dragon Balls. Oh well, like this time he fucking went to the thing. I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know.
You really segregate our audience there.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know what? I like that. That's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like I know where this movie is going to go for the most part, but it's also 3 hours,
I'm
I'm excited to see like what else.
Like you
they
said,
wanna
Ryan,
do.
I'm excited to see where we go.
What's next,
What's
yeah.
new. Let these fucking guys retire already.
Yeah.
Fucking come on now.
Robert Downey Jr. does not need more money, and he does not need any more movies. His character needs to die, and he needs.
But
to
now he's
star
gonna be
in
a
Doctor Dolittle.
Now he's gonna be
3
like a
or whatever.
fucking cameo character though. He's gonna show up and
No, Robert Downey Jr. is never a cameo character. He literally like comes into movies and steals.
That's true, but he will be.
because he demands
He will
the
be.
scenes to be written around him.
because
Like,
now you got a new generation. He's gonna show up at some point, and everyone's gonna.
yeah, but they're gonna be more interesting than a fucking billionaire white dude with a robot suit.
But I'm into Gwyneth Paltrow's character. Whatever happened to her?
She was in Infinity War.
She was. You're
and
right.
They talked about getting kids.
Oh yeah.
Talked
and
about-
then-
she had those really good shorts. I remember now. I remember vividly now. Goop.
Goop.
That's April.
That's April.
That's April.
It looks.
It looks better.
uh,
From what
I'm
I've
excited for the Penguin soda movie.
That's gonna be awesome.
I'm very excited for Silver Lake. I'm very excited for High Life, and I'm excited for Endgame to see how it all ends.
I am genuinely kind of bummed that we're not watching Avengers, actually. But, you know, it is what it is.
Do you have to go to your wrestling thing, George?
It is. I do. It's more just financially, it's more expensive. It's not even a big wrestling thing. It's a house show, which means it's not a televised
So you're just gonna
show.
go to someone's house.
Exactly what it is. Anyways, that is Movies Are Real for the month of March 2019. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, Ryan, where can people find you online?
At Mr. Pibb Official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karrie, where can people find you? You made it more awkward than it needed to
I
be.
did, because it's a very awkward at, and that's why I like it
Speaking
so
of
much.
awkward ats, KAR_E Lyles LYLES.
And I'm at jcruzalvers26 on Twitter. We didn't put something on here
Uh-oh.
that we're gonna maybe watch soon. Slut in a good way.
Oh yeah.
We will have more on that. How we're gonna cover a thing. We'll see. Well, listener, you already subscribed to this podcast feed, so you'll find out one way or another. But we'll maybe be doing some new stuff on this show in general. Now that I have more free time, we'll see where that goes. I don't know. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you can rate and review the show on iTunes, that'd be great. Or just tweet at us or let us know that you listened and enjoyed it. And yell at. No one's ever yelled at us about our cynical takes.
Let's stir up some
What the
controversy.
hell?
Let's
Come
fucking
on.
do it.
God damn
The
it.
Conjuring sucks!
Alright.
I'm just gonna get ads from you two. What? This fucking guy!
This fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking Twilight joke, but
Ooh.
Like the Zone or the movies? That
no,
are
the
good?
movie. That's the thing I was thinking. Like, I should just rewatch those movies once I have free time again.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
We should finally do that Twilight episode that we talked about last year.
I would love that so much.
Y'all were in junior high when that came out, right?
Yes.
I was in high school. Yeah.
I read the books in junior high. It came out in like, I don't remember. It was like 2007 to 2009 was the big Twilight.
I never read the books. I never saw the movie until I was 23 years old.
Did you listen to the soundtrack?
Ooh,
Well,
Good soundtrack. Great soundtrack.
It's
It's
on
got
the
Robert
radio all the
Pattinson
time.
wailing on a piano. It's very good.
But yeah, I watched those.
Never sing.
I watched those as an. I watched those as an adult male, and I loved them. They're amazing. They're bad, but I love them so much. They're so great in every objective way. Rami Malek, he's back.
Oscar winner.
So yeah, really we're just sowing the seeds for eventually fucking doing some fucking rewatch thing of Twilight probably.
Hell yeah.
So that's the episode for March. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see y'all next time.